welcome to Stellar Style. I'm your host, Lydiane. Today we have a really exciting topic. We're going to be talking about designing therapeutic spaces, which is a wonderful thing to take into consideration. Most people don't when they're designing a therapy office. It's a very personal space. People are divulging a lot of personal interpersonal relationships, a lot of divulging personal issues, so you want to make the space as inviting as you can. So who more better to come on the show than Ron Villano? He's a motivational speaker. He's an author of the book The Zing. So what's going on, Zing Man? How you doing?
Everything's going nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Practice is doing well. And,
Okay, wonderful.
Seeing a lot of people and helping people out there. And the book has helped a lot of people as far as self-help, which I think you've read it.
Yes, I love the book. The book's a wonderful book. So to give a little bit more insight on who Ron Villano is he's a licensed mental health counselor. Also, you do hypnotherapy too.
Yeah, hypnosis.
Yeah, he's got 4 or 5 practices.
Five
practices,
locations, yeah.
5 locations. One I had the pleasure to see in St. James,
Yes.
which I loved. And I have to say, aesthetically, from a design perspective, you designed it very nicely.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Means
So
a lot.
let's talk a little bit about the Zing. So why don't you tell the audience about the Zing? What inspired you to write this wonderful book?
Well, the Zing is, there are a lot of people who are not living passionately. There's a lot of things when you're younger you feel passionate about. Some people is riding a bicycle. I'm going to start riding a bike, and they get excited. Going to the gym, another 3 weeks, the gym's going to be packed. People feeling passionate about, losing weight, getting in better shape, that kind of thing. But then a lot of times it fizzles out.
Mm-hmm.
So the Zing's about living life 2 levels above passion.
Yeah.
To get yourself excited about every moment. Because if you're healthy and you have a couple of bucks in the bank and, you have food on the table, I hate to use those old, cliches and analogies.
No, but it's true.
However, but if you have all of that and you're not happy, could you imagine if something bad happens to you, or you get sick, or you don't have the money? So enjoy everything you have for the moment. And the Zing teaches you how to zing through life, how to embrace the power of change. Because change is happening 24 hours a day. You cannot stop change. However, you can resist it.
Yeah.
And that's where we get in trouble. It's like standing in the ocean and the wave is hitting you and you're trying to hold that position and you can't. Well, that's how life is when change is happening. So you need to flow with the change. But before you can do that, you need to recognize what the changes are in your life. So the Zing helps you to go from one spot to another in your life and helps you to get through life with the changes in a good, joyful way. And we made it very simplistic so everyone can understand it.
I really love the Zing. I had the pleasure to read it myself, and it has simplistic terminology. Ron uses a lot of analogies to kind of give an example of how to live life. And it's true, you have to live life in simplistic forms. A lot of people want certain things to come into fruition into their lives, but yet they're not in a state of allowance. And this book is just really about keeping yourself happy in the moment and in the now, and it's a beautiful, powerful message.
Yes, something similar is you do decorating.
Yeah.
So I think what a lot of people fail to notice is that decorating and where things are positioned has a lot to do with your therapy every day.
And your emotional
Right.
state of mind. It does. Your surroundings are everything.
Absolutely.
The people you
Absolutely.
surround yourself with, the environments you surround yourself with, really, they take on so much of your mental health. So that's a big thing to consider. Now, as far as Ron, your practice, I really enjoyed it. There were key elements I took notice of that I really liked. He is very in tune with setting up privacy for his clients.
Mm-hmm.
He had 2 doors, front and back, which I think is a vital component, like when you're doing interior designing of a therapeutic space. You want to give your clients that kind of reclusion so they don't feel like it's an intrusive space, or they can maintain that privacy in their space. Also, you use a lot of monochromatic colors, like nice neutrals.
Yes,
Right.
this way it's nice and calming.
Did you design it yourself, Ron?
I help, and then also Judy, who manages the
All right.
practice, is very good at it.
Yeah.
I know what I want, but
Yeah.
but I'm not taking all that credit. She did.
All right.
She did
All right.
a lot of it. But I do know what I want, and I knew what it should look like.
Yeah.
But she's excellent in what to put here, and colors and tones, and
Well,
then
yeah.
I get involved, also.
No, but I have to say the St. James practice, I haven't seen the others, but it was really very nice. The waiting area, how you had the chairs aligned for the waiting room. Each individual room
Yes.
was very comforting. I think when you're designing a therapeutic space, you definitely want to have the client feel comfortable. You're divulging interpersonal relationships, issues, personal issues, and you definitely want the client to feel comfortable and at ease. And the color scheme's a vital component because you want to reduce anxiety, high blood pressure, all things like that when people enter the space.
Right, so you want to calm all that down, and then, and also in our practice, we don't have any kind of receptionist there, we don't have any billers there. I feel when you come, you want a private space. It's a very, confidential thing. Most people don't want to go to counseling.
Yeah.
So when they go in there, they don't want to see somebody in there and say, I have to tell them I'm going to see Lydiane, for therapy. Meanwhile, Lydiane's a family therapist. So right away they feel like you know what they're coming for. So no one's there for that. We have that off premises, and we handle all of that. We're the only virtual practice that I know of that does that, probably in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, but I love that, and I like the seating that you chose in your practice too.
Yeah,
that was especially important.
Yeah.
No, it's good. He had very comfortable seating, and you want that because as soon as the client sits down, you're forming like a liaison between you two. Like you have to evoke a certain kind of rapport with them. They have to feel at ease, and your setting definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
definitely we want people to come in. They come in stressed out. We want them leaving happy. We want them leaving joyful. And my big thing is, if I can get you to laugh.
Yeah, but you always get people to laugh on.
Break that tension.
Well, that's he's like the zing man over here.
Zing man is all about getting you to laugh.
Yeah, it's true.
And also how to strip yourself of false pride and false ego. Because a lot of times, a lot of things that we're taught are in our mind. Like there's a chapter in here, and there's some wording in there about the garage, and we have an analogy. But the mind's garage is packed with what your mother put there, religion, your father, your schooling, all that. Well, that stuff is well when you're younger, but if you carry it into adulthood, it gets confusing because you're seeing things as an adult, but yet you're acting like a child. Well, that's not your fault. That's because all that stuff is stuffed into your subconscious, and the inner child then becomes active based on that. So you need to learn how to empty that out and process that out. Otherwise, you see someone, you say, wow, they're cocky or they're this. Meanwhile, maybe they're just confident and they're enjoying their day.
Yeah.
But you're not feeling good, so you're going to call them a cocky person or, an egotistical person. So a lot of times, everything that we say about someone is based on our own perception, and our own perceptions a lot of times may not be reality.
Yeah.
Because it may be based on the stuff that's in our subconscious that was put there by somebody else's reality. So it gets a little deeper, but to make it lighter, as you empty out the old stuff, then you could become more you. And that's what the Zing's about. That's what having the decorating that way is. So you come in, it's your space. It's not family personal counseling, it's not mine. That is your spot when you come in.
Yeah.
And any good professional therapist will tell you that. They make that space is for the client or the patient that comes in. It's not for the therapist.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised, man. You have a lot of therapy offices, they just throw things together. Oh, I got this painting, I have this chair for my house, this is here, let's just throw it in there. Ron definitely doesn't. You don't have that set up at all, and I love that. And it definitely is a nice, intimate setting that is just very contemporary, friendly feeling, which is something that you definitely want to implement into the space.
Yeah. And you want to you do decorating. If you walk in and you start condemning what's in the person's house or business, already you're lost.
Yeah.
You need to just go in and let people feel good about what they did, and now take it and say, hey, how can we now make this better?
Yeah.
See, there's a difference, right? Because nothing is bad, right?
So about the Zing, tell me, what was your favorite chapter that you wrote? Did you have one that you had a personal tie to?
Well, anybody knows me, they know I'm going to say the whole thing.
Oh my God.
The whole thing.
The whole book.
Even Rose is saying that.
By the
You see Rose,
Zing.
but Rose is right there, and she's shy.
Yeah.
Okay, so, no, but the whole book. So the Zing itself, you have the chapter called The Dumpster. One of my favorite ones in there.
Everyone's dumping something in the dumpster.
The problem is they're allowing other people to dump things into their dumpster. You're listening to people over and over again. I always say, we have these friends that have these same issues, and they call you, and they talk about the same thing 3 hours.
Yeah,
you help them in every way. The next day,
and they're
doing the same thing again. So now you start to get frustrated. Well, the thing you really need to do to help them and help yourself is to let them know you're not going to listen to the same old stuff any longer. After you give them, say, adequate time to talk it out, depending on what the level of what they're speaking of. But after a while, it's going to hurt you. You're going to start taking their negativity in. That's what transference is called. And so the best thing is, I would say, Lydiane, listen, call me whenever you want to, but talk about something different. I don't want to hear about that other thing unless something changed.
All right, fair enough.
Right, and I had a friend like that, and then he would call, and he'd say, oh
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not going to talk about that, but I just want to tell you one thing, and I would say, no, well, what has changed? Well, I said, nope, don't want to hear about it. And believe it or not, within about a week or two later, he started doing things to change it because no one would listen any longer about it. And he started to change it. And of course, everybody was there to support the person, but you need professional counseling, not just your friends, in order to have that movement. You need to go somewhere where somebody could look at you and say, wait a minute, I see you, I'm not partial, I'm going to be here sounding board. You know, that's what professional counseling does.
Well, I think it's important to go see a professional counselor. Like, you need that. You need someone that's
number
going to be
one.
objective. Everyone puts their 2 cents in.
I mean, I say it openly, I go every week. I never miss.
So do I. I
Yeah.
go to therapy too.
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate for
Yeah,
therapy.
people look at me and they say, you go every week?
Yeah.
I say, I did my own therapy for a couple of years. I almost ruined myself.
Yeah.
I go to
Didn't
somebody
work.
else, you know?
Yeah.
So, but this is very important. And I know you have a lot of good people. I watch your shows, and I be honest, I do like your show. I like the energy of the show.
Yeah. I try to get great energy people like you, Ron,
No,
you know?
it really is.
I'm like, I'm having the Zing Man. Like, I'm like, who is the Zing Man?
No,
You know?
it's very informative, and it has high energy, and, you know, and sometimes you see a show like this, because there's not the big money and the big marketing machines out there to get it out there, people don't know about it.
Yeah.
So when you listen to some of these other shows that have some of the money, and you sit and you go,
They have nothing to
how is
do.
this happening? Okay, so my point is, same in life. You know, you don't need to. You can always change the dial. You don't need to stay with something because the trend is to stay with it. You know, sometimes have the change evolve. You know, start evolving, because when you're not evolving, you're revolving. So, and most people do that. Start from here to here. So we need to move this way. And it doesn't matter what level. It could be like a little bit at a time or a lot. You decorate. Think about the old Dick Van Dyke show years ago. If you watch, when he walked into his house, there was what do you call it, an ottoman. And he would hit the ottoman and fall. That was the beginning of the show, like the intro, every time. So you say to yourself, why don't they move that ottoman, right? Every time this poor guy comes in the house, he hits the ottoman. Same in life. Why don't you move that obstacle? Like, what is it that's preventing you from doing that? Decorating. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's because familiarity is what we like. So we stay with the same relationships, we stay with the same jobs, we stay with the same look of our houses.
Because of fear.
And we
A
have
lot of people have
loads
fear.
of excuses.
Yeah.
If I call Lydiane, how much will that cost? I don't know if I could afford it. I don't know this. She's going to come in and, you see, and all these things start to come in their heads, and those are ottomans.
Yeah.
They're blocking them. So one phone call would answer the whole question. You'd come to the house, you give them a nice
Get rid of the ottoman.
right?
Yeah,
Get rid of-
definitely.
Get rid of the ottoman.
Like, yeah.
So yeah, and a lot of women listening said, I did get rid of my ottoman.
Yeah,
We know who that is.
or a couple,
I'm
right?
not saying a word.
So we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back. We'll talk more with Ron Villano about designing therapeutic spaces.
Hi, I'm Tim Stead. I'm from Star Communications. We're a marketing support company. And if you need help with your next marketing project, please call 273-1900, or you can go to our website, starcommunications.us.
Hi, we're back talking about designing therapeutic spaces, and I'm the enthusiastic, affable Ron Villano. He was singing to me in the break.
There you go.
I'm going to put you on the spot now.
No. Go on.
Come on, Ron. I
Come
need
on.
give a little tunes.
All right.
All right.
We'll do it later.
I'm getting him shy. It's okay. So let's talk about you have a great show on Fios Network.
Yes, I do. I do what's called the tip of the day,
Uh-huh.
and it's for Verizon Fios, and it's national. So you'll be watching TV, and then all of a sudden, then I'll pop up, and they'll say, coming the tip of the day. And what we do is I'm on about between 2 to 3 minutes at a time.
All right.
And it gives something how to live your life for the moment, or all different kinds of tips. So what we do is we tape them, and they put it together, and then they put them all out there. And this year we're doing they moved me up to contributor.
Oh, nice.
So now I'm a regular contributor on Verizon Fios and One News and Push Pause.
All right.
So I'm
I love
excited
it.
about that. And,
Yeah, that's big stuff.
so
it's good stuff,
Yeah,
Ron.
it's really good. I like it. I like it a lot.
Now, do you have any favorite tips of the day that you've
Well, my tip of the
vocalized,
day
or-
always is
Yeah.
to find the joy within yourself. Don't allow your joy to derive from somebody else or something. I think having material things is wonderful. I think having relationships is wonderful. All those things. Great jobs, wanting things the world offers.
Yeah.
However, unless you have the joy within yourself, in the Bible, the Apostle Paul says, the joy of the Lord is my strength. So all these things that happened to him in the Bible, all the negative things, he endured with a smile because he did it because he had the joy knowing that his love for God was there so strong, and everything that happened, he felt there was a reason for. So if you wake up in the morning and you find joy in your life, within yourself, what you're going to wind up doing is you're going to wind up putting out joy. And when you put out joy, you cannot get anything other back than joy. Right, and joy is a very key thing. It took me a long time to understand the definition of what joy really means. And it's amazing. It's just like gratitude.
Yeah.
To be, to be grateful for what you have.
Everything comes down to love and gratitude.
Oh, mesmerizing.
Yeah.
You know? So it's all good stuff. So that's what I recommend every day. I say to people, when you wake up in the morning, before your feet hit the ground, have a pad and pen next to you in your bed, by your bed, and write down 3 to 5 things you're very happy about. So you might put down each child's name, or you might put down his job. You might put down that you own a house. You might put you have an apartment. You have furniture. You had a bed to sleep in. You woke up healthy. But 3 things. I guarantee you that'll change your whole mood and day.
No, it definitely does,
Yeah.
and it's a skill you have to hone. Because I'm all about love and gratitude. You know, everyone sometimes is in a state where you cannot always be completely content, but you have to reshift, refocus the energies, and
Absolutely.
be happy in the day. And a lot of it comes from self-love.
Absolutely. Judy will say, I have to press the reset button. I
Yeah.
need to reset. And it took a while to even understand that. And that's smart, because that says, shut everything down in my mind, let me get everything back, and start again. And that's the way we should do it. But most of us are running so much, and your minds are racing. And so many self-help books talk about, what? Live in the moment.
Live in the now,
Well,
exactly.
living in the moment, believe it or not, you cannot not live in the moment, right, Rose?
Right.
You have to live in the moment. Because if you don't, how
No,
would
it's
you not?
true.
So whether you take the past into the moment or you want to bring the future into the moment, fine. The key to life is, the past has happened. And
Yes.
some of that does come into the moment.
And you have to let go of that
Right.
and move forward.
But the future doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
There's no such thing
And-
as it's going to happen, because it has to happen in order for it to happen. So if your mind's on anything about the future, no one says don't plan out, don't prepare yourself, but always be planned out and prepared that whatever you prepared and planned won't happen. That's when you're ready for change. But if you're stuck on, you have to do this is going to happen, I'm going to be rich in 5 years, I hate all those goals, 5 years I'll have this, 10 years I'll be here. No, you won't. Because on your way through life, like I say in my book, on your way through the tunnel, so many things change,
Yeah.
right?
And it's never about the end result, because
No.
life is always continuous. So you'd hope that you're not going to be in a stagnant state. You're going to continually try to grow as
Absolutely.
a person. So you can get to one benchmark, but the end benchmark is not going to be as exciting as you think it's going to be. You have to derive pleasure in the moment. And
Yes.
then once you accomplish that, you'll be happy, but you'll already be on to something else, I think.
Right, so you never
It's the evolution of life.
And
Yeah.
social media has not helped that at all.
Yeah.
Because it always gets your mind thinking there's always something better out there. It's like decorating with a decorator that really doesn't know what they're doing. If you decorate with a decorator that doesn't know what they're doing, that means then the customer isn't giving them all their trust, so they're always saying, okay, I like that, but maybe we could do that. When you trust the professional, and you say, this is what I'm looking for, and let them do their job,
Yeah.
then you're going to come in, there's going to be a beginning, middle, and an end to it, and you're going to, most of the time, be very happy with it. And I've seen that in decorating. My son's an architect,
Yeah.
so I see all that stuff. However, when you use people that not sure what they're doing, then everything is based on what? A weak foundation.
Yeah.
It's based on sand, not cement and concrete.
Of course.
So same with counseling, same with self-help, same with living your life and finding joy. When you know what you want for that moment, and you actually do it without other people's help, and you made that choice, even if it doesn't turn out the way you thought, you're still powerful, because you took your power back and you were the one responsible for that whole situation, which means now you can correct it. When someone else is responsible for you, I can't correct you. So now I'm spinning my wheels trying to get your attention and getting you and manipulate you and control you, not even
Yeah.
knowing I'm doing that, and that's why most of us go out of control. So
Yeah.
here's the saying, when you're controlling, you're out of control. When you're not controlling, you're in control.
Yeah, I think
So-
there's a huge truism to that.
Let it go.
Yeah,
Right,
you
let it
can't
go.
control other people.
Yeah.
The only thing you can control is yourself and your
Yourself.
own actions. And then other people's actions won't be upsetting to
No,
you
never
once
let,
you let it go.
never let another
Yeah.
person ever determine your joy for the day of fun. You ever see someone had a great day? I'm sure Rose did. You had a great day, and it was 7 o'clock at night, and you're
Yeah.
sitting there and you say, this is great. 7:01 p.m., somebody gives you news, the girl breaks up with you, something happens, you're unhappy, and you say, oh, and I was having such a great day, my day is ruined. you could not have ruined anything that happened already.
Yeah.
You can't make something that was negative that happened better, that happened already. So what you need to do is say, this moment now is miserable. And that's how you learn to start to live in the present moment by being present. Otherwise, right away, we just said, this whole week is shot, or how could it be?
Yeah.
So you need to derive the joy and the positive out of what's positive, and of course, recognize what's negative, and that's life.
Yeah, and feelings always dissipate too. So if you have an intense feeling of sorrow or pain, I just think it's going to pass, right? Get through it. It's going to pass.
A lot of times it does.
Right?
However, recognizing that it's happening,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong in
Yeah.
saying, I hate that. Most
Yeah.
people in our country do not like to say the word hate. So I like to say to the patient, say dislike that.
Mhm.
But you need to learn how to say, I hate that, in order to love that. Because hate and love are the two emotions, right? I mean, you're
Mhm.
hating something, you're loving something. So you need to start to allow your feelings and express yourself. But you just can't go out in public and look at somebody and go, I want you to know I hate you.
Yeah.
You're
out. I don't
Right,
like you.
right. You have to have a little bit of, discretion.
Yeah. So let's talk about your hypnosis, because you're involved with hypnosis, which I think is fascinating.
Yes. Well, I love all the alternatives. I love acupuncture, which I get weekly. I love massage.
Mhm.
I like Reiki. I think they're all wonderful. The thing with hypnosis is directly working with the mind.
Mhm.
And what I believe, what it really does the most is it will start to take out what's in your subconscious and make you aware that what's in there, because you don't know what's in there. So good hypnotherapy will get the subconscious to start to reveal itself
No.
and uncover.
So let me ask you this, Ron. Do you really get your patients and they just start releasing emotions?
Oh yeah,
Really?
tremendous. We've seen so many tremendous things. I've seen people light it inside of 15 minutes feeling the presence of a father that passed away.
Oh, really?
And,
Wow.
and I mean, started to go into like sweats and sitting there, and bring them out in 15 minutes,
Wow.
and sitting in there saying, wow, I can't believe how emotional, and then how freeing it becomes. So don't look for everything to be instant, because there's a whole residual effect to it. Everything, counseling, anything you do, decorating, look
it's not
for,
immediate.
right,
It's
feel
like over
it, feel it
time.
over time, you see, and let it be a process. I'm not a believer you come for hypnosis for one visit and you're gonna stop
Yeah.
smoking and lose weight, or I have a line from here to China.
Yeah.
So you need to go at least 5 sessions.
All right.
And you need to want
You
to
have
do
the
it.
willingness to
Gotta
want it.
want it, right. If you
Well,
don't
that's-
want it,
Yeah,
forget
and
it.
that's with therapy too. You need the willingness.
Absolutely.
Right?
I've had people come to me, I said, listen, you can't give me a bad record here. I said,
Yeah.
if you're not here because you want to be, or you're here because your wife wants you here, your mother wants you here, this is not gonna work.
Yeah.
You need to come here
When you're
because
ready.
you're loving me.
Yeah.
You ain't loving me? Don't come here.
How can they not
Because-
love you? Ronnie's hysterical.
I don't
You have
know.
such like a humorous,
So I'm wondering.
yeah, banter about him. He's great. I
Right?
mean, I'm always laughing with you. Always laughing. And as far as your hypnosis, your therapeutic space is definitely very well set up for that, because
Oh,
you have
yeah.
comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yes, sofas laid out in certain rooms that are
Yeah.
very comfortable. The colors are soothing colors.
Absolutely. Good
You-
music.
yeah, you have music,
Yeah.
aromatherapy. I even
Everything.
saw that. I mean, yeah, it's all inclusive, and you're really set up to go. You have
Yes. And we're-
practices like you get the design 5-star.
and we try to help people too. People
Yeah.
who can't afford, they call us. We have scales that we work with to help people. We're having a thing now, if you buy one hypnosis, because now the new year's going to come, people are going to want to lose weight. We have Judy, who runs the whole hypnosis program for us. She actually took off 80, 90 pounds, kept it off,
All right.
and she helps a lot of people that way. She does a great job. People come in weekly for her.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff going on over there,
Yeah. So let's talk about your virtual therapy, because that's very intriguing.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother way of working. When you
Yeah.
come in, listen, to me, all therapy is very similar.
All right.
It just depends on what the other person that's coming in for the help,
Mhm.
what's going to work best for them. So you learn in counseling school.
Yeah.
You're not there for your counseling. And we know there's some counselors out there that they're actually doing their therapy while they're doing your therapy.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
what we talk about there. I have a great therapist.
Yeah.
I really like her. I
Yeah.
told her right from the moment. I was like, I like you.
Yeah.
I got a good one, I said. But yeah, you have to have that rapport.
If you don't, right, and so when you come in, the professional therapist, and I have 2 sisters who are licensed social workers, with the odd number, and I have 3 nieces, 3 nephews, my daughter's a therapist. So we have a whole family of it. So we know quite a bit about it, and the biggest key is that when a person comes in, if you have to stand on your head to get that person's counseling to move forward, then you do. You do whatever it takes to get this person to start to release what they're holding on to. And, you know, they say in counseling, you're as sick as your secrets. So when the person finally lets go of the secrets, because they want to come in and tell you the 90% that they're telling everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the 10% that they never told. And sometimes that could take 2-3 years. And you have to give the people the time and the space. You can't push them. You know, no one wants to be controlled or manipulated in their counseling.
Of course.
So you have to allow them. You can't be the therapist when the person, you know, you're getting frustrated as a therapist. You go, oh
Yeah.
my God, don't they get it yet? You can't do that.
Yeah.
So you have to allow them to get it.
Yeah. No, I think you're doing
Yeah.
wonderful things and you're sending a powerful message. And you do a lot of motivational speaking.
Yeah, we speak. I
Right.
speak all you know, different places around, you know, corporations on how to embrace change. I mean, everyone, most people who know me know that I lost my son Michael in a car accident at 17 years old. A tractor trailer killed him and his
Yeah.
friend,
And
and
you
that
lost your
changed my
mom
life. Yeah.
and you had a divorce, right?
Oh yeah, I went through divorce,
Right around the
lost my
same
mother.
time.
Yes, very
so
close.
it kind of just hit you all at once.
Yeah, so I can, you know, so I know what depression is, I know
Yeah.
what being down is, and I know what, you know, what it is to feel like coming back up. So I say, listen, when I lost my son, he took my life, now I say he gave me life. And that's why I look at people when they know what I've been through. But I don't want them to look at me and say, wow, what are my problems? They're so small next to yours.
Yeah.
No, everyone's problem at the time is major. Anything that's holding you back is just as major as the one you think is even bigger. There is no such thing as who's bigger, who's smaller. It's what's holding us down now, and that's what we want to work with. However, someone who understands deep pains of life
Yeah.
sometimes can help, you know, to take you from here to here to here. But that's not always necessary.
Yeah.
You know, therapists that haven't been through much in their lives are just as good and just as powerful if they're good therapists as someone who has. So
Okay.
yeah, therapy is therapy.
And I can attest, you're definitely living life with a zing despite
Yeah.
all the adversity.
Yeah,
I mean, he's always zinging.
You gotta
Yeah,
zing.
he's a zing man.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was wonderful to have you on the show,
Thank you,
Ron.
thank you.
And you could buy Ron's book on your site, on Ron's site, and also on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Barnes and
But
Noble.
if they go to thezing.com,
Yeah.
that's the best. It's on your phones, anywhere you want to go.
Okay.
It's everywhere.
Zing.com. Get the zing. Thank you so much, Ron. It was
Thank
great
you
to
for
have
having
you
me.
here.
Appreciate it.
Wonderful. Take care. See you next time.